Hey guys, welcome to another new day on the daily random vlog. Random Andrew here. Today's November 11th. By the time you're watching, it's actually the 12th. But today is November 11th. It's Remembrance Day. And for the past many years, probably since I was a child, I've always taken this day. By the way, if you don't know, I know the 10th, November 10th, is Veterans Day in America. But up here in Canada, it's the 11th. As Remembrance Day, where we remember and we honor those who have served in various conflicts throughout our history, wars, wars. And we all have somebody who's been involved in one of these conflicts, these wars, and for me, that guy there, it's this guy here. This is my Grandpa Leon. He's my mother's father, and this is apparently where I get a lot of my looks from. He passed away when I was just little. I do have a memory of my grandfather, but the things in the war that occurred made him very sick throughout his life, and though he survived the conflicts, it did not leave him in the best of conditions. So, remembering and honoring you, Grandpa. Wish I could honestly say I had the chance to get to know him a little bit better, but this is why we remember, right? Right. So it's kind of hard, to really sum up every single conflict that our different Canadian soldiers have been involved in. There's been a lot. But we can at least do our part in gathering. We remember all year long, but this one day a year we choose to come out in the group masses and meet at the cenotaph or at various places and pay our respects, pay our remembrance on this Remembrance Day. I'm a little short of words. It's pretty early in the morning. I did get some sleep last night, though. Since I can remember, I've always gone up to that cenotaph that I showed you guys before, and I think it was in last year's vlog of me and Mum going up. Now, this year, there's a new memorial garden. It's right beside the building that's getting destroyed, called the Sutherland Press Building. I have not been down there yet to see this new memorial garden, but we'll get to see it today, and I'm hoping that it'll be a pretty large turnout at this new one-shot unit, like one-shot place. They moved everything into one place so that people stop gathering in different venues across the city. But anyways, we'll see how it looks when we get down there. Mum's on her way to come pick me up. She's driving, which means I don't have to walk in this cold this morning. Hooray. I still would have. I mean, it's only a little bit of cold air, but hey, why walk if somebody's willing to drive you there? So we'll head on down there, we'll see what's going on, and we'll go pay our respects. Alright, so we've made our way down. You remember, previous years, the cenotaph used to be right over there. I think they're doing it early. Well, they've even moved the unknown soldier down here. Wow. It's really busy here, guys.
not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Dominion of Canada, Karen Vecchio.
Well, it's quite bitter chilly out there. We couldn't even see the cenotaph. There's just so many people gathered around in that one small area. We did go, we showed up to see, and it's not what it used to be. We'll have to show up hours later just to place our poppies on the wreath, because it's now just a big, seems like a big have your picture taken on Remembrance Day thing. Oh well, we have our memory of what it was. One last little piece I gotta add though is that it felt really awkward walking up at 11:15 to what's now the new cenotaph, the new Remembrance Day area, and they were already in a moment of silence at 11:15. I understand this is to accommodate the people, but really the people that are there to remember are finding it awkward. As far as I always knew, it was 11:11, and that was where the minutes of silence were. Not 11:15. It just felt really strange. Just real quick, we've got Kyle here checking out an RC car he just picked up. Do you want to tell them what you paid for it?
$80.
$80 for this. And it's a lot like a Losi, I'm not sure if you call it an SCT-10, because the body style is different and everything on it. You might as well set her down and pop the pins out again. We've already actually had it apart and had a look at it, but I figured, you know what? I think the vlog might like to see this. It's four-wheel drive, running brushless. From what I can tell, it looks to be either the 60 or the 80 amp Hobby Wing styled ESC. Let me get some light going here. Begins to when it dies. So right now he's running a 6-cell nickel metal hydrate, and refocus, 3300 kilovolt motor, as you can see, brushless, and it's not really even that heavy. $80. He's already got a ton of anodized aluminum. This is here's the reinforcement brace. It's like the thing's already pre-upgraded. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that. If anybody can tell us, if anybody can identify, it says HSP all over everything, so I'm not too familiar with HSP, but if you guys can ID this so that Kyle here can know exactly what he's got, please do so. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. HSP. Daryl's been to a couple hobby shops. You never heard of HSP?
No.
No. But yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with that regardless of what it is. I like how the diffs are set up in it. The diffs are actually pretty close to the same shape as the Summit diff too. So it seems, as I get older, I tend to appreciate more the quiet, easygoing, like things used to be kind of setting and scenario for those big, like Remembrance Day. Don't get me wrong, I'm really, really glad and grateful for those who did the hard work to get that memorial garden in place. And apparently the ceremony has always kind of been that kind of thing out at the hospital, because they would all meet at the statue of the unknown soldier. But now that that's all in one spot, it's one ginormous Remembrance Day thing now. So Mom and I, we have a plan. for future Remembrance Days, something we're going to do now, or at least try to do. And it is more of the small town, quiet celebration thing, and it means a little bit more to do with her past and her dad's past, and her dad, my grandfather, is the one who we tend to remember, being that when he passed, he was sick after the war and everything for many years, and he wasn't quite honored or celebrated the way that, unless you are socially involved or socially recognized somehow, you don't really get that same respect aspect. And I mean, this is we're talking about somebody who was in Korea. He had involvement with the UN. He was in the Congo, Germany. He was all over the place. He dedicated a good chunk of his life to being in service of the Canadian military. But that being said, still a really nice thing to see that many people turn out for it. Really awesome. Good job, St. Thomas. Now on with this afternoon and the RC portion of the vlog, as gotta have my RC stuff. I've been working on my mini Revo. Used to be known as Merv the Pink Bastard, but now it's just Off-Road Merv. I'll show you the progress of where I'm at. There you go, all taken apart. Only thing really not pictured here is some of the, well, okay, there's a lot not pictured here, because the end of my coffee table has become my work area. I'm just kind of using this as a clean area to present everything to you guys. Now, the front end, the front module, as I'm choosing to call it, which is the bulkhead, the control arms, the diff, everything in that whole front section that will come off. Not been cleaned yet. We'll get nice and close-up view in there. Look at that. Yeah, it's due for it. I think we figured out where all that extra noise was. There's a little stone that got inside here and was just grinding with the gears. I'm lucky I didn't actually chip a tooth there, but all's well, because it just needs to be cleaned and put back together. So the only thing is, with these little mini Revos, is dirt does get in here really easily. Unfortunate it happens, but I got an idea of something I'm going to try putting it back together to see if I can't seal it right up in there so that no dirt, nothing gets inside. Here's the main part of the chassis, already been cleaned and taken care of. Transmission. That will sit. Oh, that sits in here something like this. There you go. And then the front bulkhead. Give you a nice close look in there. All nice and perfectly clean. Brand new front bulkhead. I've had that sitting around meaning to replace it for a while. The other one was broken right where that little piece. Right there. So I figured, time to replace it. Everything's clean, going back together. I just got to put a little grease inside of there and then work on figuring out how to seal it up, as nothing ever butts up 100% like it should. Oh, you might be thinking, why is this sitting in vice grips? Used a little bit along a seam here that I wasn't happy with how it was together. So I've just used a tiny little bit with a toothpick to apply it so I didn't get any liquid E-tape where there shouldn't be. No mating surfaces, in other words, nowhere that it needs to be absolutely flush against it. It's not going to interfere with it anyways. If anything, it's just going to go towards keeping more dirt and grit out of there. So I'm going to plug away at getting that back together. I really do want to see what this is like. We don't really have any snow left, but I want it to be in working order for the next snowfall. With those rock claw tires on it, this is actually going to be a lot of fun in the snow. Quick update on the off-road Merv build, well, rebuild. So everything looks so nice and clean and new, for the most part. I still got a couple of things to wash, but doing the rear, and I think I messed it up before where I was saying that was the rear. That's actually the front. That's the rear. I just had the chassis backwards and it mixed me up. Anyhow, for where there's usually a gap and a little bit of dirt and dust gets in, I've actually taken just the thinnest little coating of liquid E-tape and sealed it up. So I'm ready to get going a little bit further with this update when it's actually in one piece though. And now it's a little bit later. The Mini Revo is back together. Now that's all that's left to do, and really simple, really easy. Remount the motor. I gotta fix this servo because it's got a chipped tooth again. Good thing I have an extra set of servo gears. This, in case anybody's wondering, is just a stock 2080 Traxxas servo. It might be worth actually getting a metal gear servo to go in this. Now, I imagine you can also, if you wanted, you could double up your servo power and get twin servo action here. You just got to find the servo arm that has both sides to it. And I imagine this is right about where Jess comments and says, "Yup, you can get it from." One thing I would like to do is upgrade this to the 10th scale motor plate and be able to put in a nice castle setup into this Mini Revo. I like it better off-road than I think I do as an on-road car, but it does make a good on-road car too. So the possibilities, it's the world of RC. It's endless. And it really is endless. I mean, anything you can think of, you can probably find it in scale and remotely controlled nowadays, which is, it's great. It's awesome. I'm really glad to see where this has come since even when I was a child. But think about this. If Nikola Tesla were alive to see where his little invention of a radio-controlled boat, the very first thing that could ever exist, what now exists based on that one little idea he had. And you know, it was an idea, and instead of sitting and, I'm sure he sat and thought about it, but instead of just thinking about it, he actually did it. And look where it came to this day, like 100 years, nearly 100 years later. And in case you're wondering, if you don't know who Nikola Tesla is, he gave the world so much, and the world of RCs is just one little thing that he gave us. So do yourself a favor and check him out. Really awesome guy. Really misunderstood for his day. But I'm going to get cranking on getting that servo apart, getting it fixed, and then maybe I might even get out for a test strip tonight, but I'm really dying to get that thing done and together. Thanks for watching the work, the progress, the Remembrance Day. I hope everybody had a good Remembrance Day today. Here, think about this. Should you say Happy Remembrance Day? Should it be a happy day, or should we all walk around mopey and sad or forgetful or mournful? How do you address celebrating that? Do you say Happy Remembrance Day? Anyhow, just a random thought. Random thoughts brought to you by Random Andrew. Thanks again for watching, guys. Think positive, stay positive, keep a smile on your face, and we'll see you right here tomorrow. Good night. Vlog over.